The face of ancient Mexico is illuminated by a process of creation that has produced cultures more than 3 millennia in the making. Centuries ago, Mexicans lived in a magical, poetic world, a world in which religion gave meaning to life. Everything that existed formed part of this great universe. And within that world, various cultures created mystical art and spaces where the collective imagination could express itself. Among the most ancient and important of these was the Olmeca culture, which was one of the building blocks of Mesoamerica. The colossal stone heads carved by the Olmecas have astounded archaeologists and the art world in general. Perfect in form, these statues are masterpieces that express the highest values of human spirituality. The artistic and cultural legacy of the Olmecas left an indelible mark on all Mesoamerican cultures. The most interesting of these was the Maya culture. The complexity and wealth of the Maya universe is present in all its cultural manifestations. The Mayas had a heightened awareness of temporality, on which their cosmogony and cosmology were based. The desire to understand the universe that surrounded them led the Mayas to build observatories, giving them a surprisingly clear vision of the cosmos, more so than any other contemporary culture. According to the cosmogony of the Mayas, as described in the Popol Vuh, the gods created a new man out of corn, a sacred substance that was to be Mexico's gift to the world. This new man acknowledged the gods who created him and accepted his mission on earth. Civilizations with highly developed social, economic, and religious structures flourished in what is today the state of Oaxaca. Monte Alban was undoubtedly the largest and most important city of the Mixteca and Zapoteca cultures. Perched strategically on a mountaintop, Monte Alban's location reveals its creators' determination to demonstrate their power. After a long pilgrimage from Aztlan, their mythical birthplace, the Mexicas became the proud founders of Mexico Tenochtitlan, a city-state whose complexity and dynamism were to astonish the New World. From here, the Mexicas established a far-reaching military network and trade routes, becoming the most powerful society in all of Mesoamerica in the centuries prior to the Spanish conquest. The Aztecs worshipped the sun above all else. Divided into circles that correspond to the 18 months of the pre-Hispanic year, the monolith known as the Sunstone is emblematic of the Mexicas' cultural magnificence. In the middle of the disc is the face of Tonatiuh, the sun god. The two pairs of wings pointing upwards and downwards represent the 4 eras or suns that went before, while the 5th sun is a sun in movement, representing the present era of humanity. In the house of paintings, begin to sing, rehearse your chant, scatter flowers to brighten up your song. In the 15th century of our era, a young king from Texcoco, a town near the great Aztec city, wrote these beautiful verses inspired by nature and the fine arts. Over the years, the indigenous heritage was influenced by the presence of the Spaniards, giving birth to a new and complex Mexican culture. A culture that is recognized for its love of bright colors, its arts and crafts, its customs, and its food. Despite the passing of the centuries, its town squares continue to be hubs of activity, places where city dwellers still socialize to this very day, along with its beautiful Baroque churches, built by the hands of our indigenous peoples. Mexico is an enormous country, a country of mountains that flow into valleys, and valleys that border on deserts. As you cross the Sierra Madre from north to south, two huge volcanoes come into sight. Towns that contrast with their tropical coastlines. And beautiful green valleys. Impressive coral reefs, miles and miles of coast and stark deserts. Not to mention some of the most breathtaking landscapes in the world. Mexico's cities have their own special charm. The colonial-style cities in central Mexico have large squares and beautiful cathedrals dating back centuries. The mining and cattle farming towns of the north have held on to their traditions despite the emergence of modern industrial cities. And in the south, you can still see the contrasts of the major cultures that shape the country we know today as Mexico. Mexico City is the historic center of an empire that has no precedent on the American continent. This is where all the values of Mexico come together, beginning with its amazing architecture. Its economic and financial centers, murals, traditional art, and other forms of expression. Mexico's exquisite cuisine pays homage to the rich and varied flavors of the land. While its modern infrastructure has positioned it as one of the highest growth economies of the world. Mexico also has world-class tourist resorts, where pleasure and relaxation are synonymous with life itself. Few countries in the world can lay claim to such natural wealth and diversity. We invite you to visit Mexico and experience its ancestral traditions that coexist with a young generation that is sowing the seeds of the future. Because it is only by acknowledging the past and looking constantly to the future that we can reaffirm our identity. The Mexico of today has a new face. A modern, innovative face that challenges the imagination. We are standing on the threshold of a new world. A dynamic, stable, and competitive world. Mexico is famous for the hospitality of its people. Our people, the Mexican people, who are always ready to offer a smile. Come visit Mexico. It's an experience not to be missed.